Thursday, as you'll be aware, speaking at the United Nations, President Trump accused OPEC, of which Saudi Arabia is the de facto leader, of ripping off the rest of the world. He also, this weekend, called King Salman of Saudi Arabia and asked him to increase production. So how much oil is Saudi Arabia pumping right now, and how much oil is Saudi Arabia prepared to provide?
Well, thank you, Ryan, and let me express my pleasure to be here. This is my second year in a row to participate in this great forum. It's a distinct honor to be on the panel with Honorable President Putin and other colleagues. And of course, I have almost a weekly communication channel directly with His Excellency Alexander Novak, where we work together on our bilateral relationship, but also importantly, on stabilizing the global market. I want to acknowledge the catalytic role that President Putin and the leadership of Saudi Arabia played in bringing the kind of stability that the President just talked about, in particular, the meeting a couple of years ago on the sidelines of the G20 in Guangzhou, where the two leaders, President Putin and His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, agreed that we will bring producers of like-minded, responsible position to bring stability back to the market. And I think our success speaks volumes for the alignment and the leadership of Russia and Saudi Arabia in global energy markets. As the President said from the first conversation we had, our objective was to bring supply and demand in balance, inventories within a comfortable range, and investment flows back into the industry, and a revival of an industry that was suffering from bankruptcies, layoffs, and lack of direction. I think on all of those fronts, we have achieved 100% success. It remains the question of the price, and my position and the Kingdom's position on the price is that it's left to the markets. What we can influence is fundamentals, and the fundamentals today are extremely healthy. Inventories are actually building counter-seasonally in the third quarter. Usually the second half, as many of my colleagues in the energy industry knows, that typically that's the high demand season, high refining, and we see a lot of draws on global inventories. We're seeing OECD and US inventories building since June, when we made the courageous decision in Vienna together, led by Russia and Saudi Arabia for the OPEC Plus grouping, that it's time to ease supplies. I can tell you that at that time, or preceding our meetings in Vienna, Saudi production was below 10 million for the entire first 5 months of the year. In October, we're producing about 10.7 million, and I anticipate that November will be slightly higher. This is not a unilateral decision. We've made a commitment together with Russia and other partners that we will bring compliance back to 100%, and we're on our way to do this. And this has translated just between Russia and Saudi Arabia as of today to about 1 million barrels between the two countries, 700 plus 300. I know the UAE, Iraq, and we have the energy minister from Iraq here in the room, has also pumped more. So the OPEC Plus is very responsive to meeting demand. And I said just before the panel today that not a single customer of Saudi Aramco has requested a barrel since June that has not been responded to. But I think we have to assume that the forces that the Honorable President mentioned, geopolitical tension, speculation, will ultimately ebb, and we will see stability back in the market. I think what's important is to think what is going to happen in the next decade and beyond as supply continues to decline in maturing fields, as demand continues to grow at a healthy pace. Is the energy industry prepared to invest? And thanks to the alignment that Russia, Saudi Arabia, OPEC, and other producers have, we can provide that assurance that the market will have stewardship and that there is predictability and stability.